three great revenue drivers here in the room with me.
Well, the number one thing that most people miss in marketing is having a strategy.
Setting up an affiliate program has become very commoditized. It's very easy. There are a lot of tools, there are a lot of platforms out there where you can get an affiliate program set up in a matter of minutes.
When there's a disconnect between sales and marketing, it is doomed.
You're listening to the Real Business Connections Network. Real Business Connections Network. Powered by Balbert Marketing, LLC. Subscribe now and check us out at realbusinessconnections.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome everyone once again to our brand new latest edition on the Real Business Connections Network. This is called Real Talk with GrowGetters. What's a grow-getter? Simply put, we're talking about go-getters that are looking to grow and level up every single day. I humbly see myself in that category. I know the listener does as well. So I'm here to learn. And I have three revenue drivers, three great revenue drivers here in the room with me. And let's take a minute to introduce ourselves. So I see you, Darleen, at the top with me. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much for having me, Ben. I appreciate it. My name is Darleen Priday, and I am the founder of DP Consults. I empower small businesses and entrepreneurs to be able to authentically and relationally sell their own services. I've been in sales for over 30 years, so I've learned a lot of what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, and I'm excited to have Darleen here. She's a friend of mine. We met a little bit ago, and she really knows her stuff. She's relationship first. She's a great sales professional, and I'm excited to learn from you. Fred, let's have you go next, my friend.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for having me on the show, Ben. Nice to meet everyone. My name is Frederic Jean-Bart. I am the CEO and co-founder of Performance Partners. We are a consulting agency that works with 7 to 8 figure direct-to-consumer brands, and we help them build affiliate programs that create a new source of revenue for their business and allow them to add incremental growth to their business.
I love that. And I'm new to this, so I'm excited to learn from you, my friend, because at the end of the day, if all I have to do is endorse something I love and I can make some extra income, I think that's brilliant for anyone here. And Ed, you're the marketing guy. Talk a little bit about what you do.
First of all, great to be here, Ben, and nice to be here with you folks as well. So I am a marketing strategy advisor with ECE Marketing Services, and I help small companies that are struggling to grow, acquire more clients, and increase their revenue. And the main reason I do this is because after mentoring and training hundreds of companies since 2009, the number one thing I hear is, how can we grow our sales and take our company to the next level? So it's something I really enjoy doing. And I typically work with companies that are between 3 to 7 million who are looking to provide services to consumers and other companies.
Love it. And you have a podcast as well, Ed, correct?
I did have a podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I know I was a guest on it. Is the podcast, the ship sailed?
Yeah, the ship sailed on that one. So
on to bigger and better things, my friend. We'll start with you because I'm talking to you right now, Ed. So why is marketing specifically so darn important when we're developing a plan to grow our revenue?
Well, the number one thing that most people miss in marketing is having a strategy. So I think that is really the key thing. And that's sort of what I bring to the table, is being able to put together a strategy for lead generation and customer acquisition. And when you do that, it gives the company focus and direction, right? It allows us to say, we're going to do these activities, we're going to run these campaigns, and we're going to track and measure what we do, and so that we can take the stuff that works really well and do that again, and we can take the stuff that doesn't work so well and we can get that off the list and replace it by something else. The other thing that does too is it allows the company to take a look at their audience and start to segment it. And most companies don't do that. They don't segment their audiences. And when you do that, it allows you to do a much better job at marketing and creating the marketing message and also planning your future strategy.
Good intro.
Hmm.
Any key components that we could focus on when developing that strategy, Ed?
Yeah. So what I like to do is, baseline it at where they are to begin with by starting with what are you doing now that's working and what are you doing now that isn't working so well. And there may not be a lot of analytics behind that, but usually there's a good gut feeling that these things we're doing are bringing us in some customers or clients or prospects or leads. And we feel like maybe there's a way to expand that or do that better.
I want to pass it over to if Darleen or Fred want to jump in as to how they're using some of the segmentation or marketing strategy in their businesses.
Well, I agree with Ed because strategy is so important. I always say it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks if you're not really focused, and you can waste a lot of time, money. And I've worked for companies or with companies that don't want to invest in the strategy, but that is really the muscle behind your marketing dollars. And when you have a direction and a goal, it makes everything so much more easy and able to really focus on moving the needle forward.
Darleen, does it help you in your role as a sales professional as well? I can imagine.
It does. And having, and this might be a whole different topic, but when there's a disconnect between sales and marketing, it is doomed. If they're not in alignment, you can't just operate in a silo. Marketing and sales really has to work hand in hand. And sometimes marketing can move and have a strategy in mind and not pull sales along, or vice versa. And again, that just wastes time and energy.
Yeah. And for me, similar to everyone else, strategy is everything. So from an affiliate marketing perspective, setting up an affiliate program has become very commoditized. It's very easy. There are a lot of tools, there are a lot of platforms out there where you can get an affiliate program set up in a matter of minutes. And that's where a lot of people fail, is that they think, okay, well, I'm going to set up the affiliate program and then they're all going to just come to me and I'm going to make a bunch of money. And no, that's not how it works. Unfortunately, the affiliate marketing world, it has this reputation based on social media where you can make a lot of money. It's really easy and it happens really quickly. And that's just not the truth. Can you make a lot of money from it? Yes, it's a great tool, but it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes a strategy. And so that's something that we help our clients with, is like, okay, so you've got an affiliate program set up. Now, how do you recruit the affiliates? How do you get them generating revenue? It's such an important part that people miss.
Tell us a little bit. So for the listener that doesn't quite understand affiliate marketing, give us the intro of how that works. Well, what exactly is affiliate marketing?
Yeah, so affiliate marketing is basically where you partner with someone where they're going to promote your product or your brand. And when your partner or that affiliate generates a customer or a lead, you pay them a commission. It can either be a fixed commission, it could be like $50 per customer, or it can be a percentage. So it can be like 10% of the order value. And so the benefit of that is, if you work with a good group of affiliates, you kind of have almost like an online team that's selling and promoting your brand, promoting your products out there. And they may have an audience that you may not have been able to get in touch with from your other like SEO or paid efforts. So it's a great way at customer acquisition or lead generation in terms of targeting new segments and customers that you may not be doing internally.
So I can have like 100 Darleens running around and I don't actually have to have them as internal employees of mine.
Not only that, but the Darleens that are working for you, they're working on a performance basis. So they're working on commission, right? So if 99 of the 100 Darleens don't do a good job and aren't generating you any customers, you don't pay anything. And so it's a great way where a business can get growth without having to spend a lot of capital.
Can I just say that I love the fact that you're replacing the word with sales with Darlene, and I think I'm going to have to trademark that. Right? Have 100 Darlenes.
I mean, that would be great, right? That would literally be great.
And I can tell you that I had a coffee chat with Fred, and he is amazing. He gave me so many different ideas. When you have a natural sales, like I'm always recommending products and different things like that. And I never even think of affiliate marketing. I just do it. It's a natural, course of when I'm having these conversations. So he really got my mind working into looking at things from a different perspective and seeing where you can generate income with things you're naturally recommending anyway.
I love that. I'm already talking about it. I'm already naturally recommending it. Let's possibly put together a partnership so I get paid a little bit for that. Is there anything new and different in the affiliate world that we should know about, Fred?
It's like you don't have to have a big, massive audience. You don't have to be the Elon Musks out of the world. You don't have to be the Kim Kardashians of the world to make money from affiliate marketing. If you have an audience, even if it's small, but they're engaged and they like you and they trust you and they believe that like you're an expert in that subject and you're authentic. There are a lot of brands that are willing to partner with you out there, whereas before you had to have like this big, massive following. It's like things are different now. You can have, 1,000 followers or like a low monthly visitor rate and still partner with some really big brands. I would say that's the biggest change.
Ed, any thoughts? I haven't heard from you in a moment.
So actually, Fred, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think affiliate marketing is also just a great way to build an audience too, right? Because you can build different segments, and then once you own that audience information, you own it, and now you can remarket to it any way you want. So that's, I always thought that was one of the coolest things about affiliate marketing.
Mm-hmm. I think regardless of what industry you're in today's world, having an audience, building an audience is just so valuable. Yeah. Right? It's not even affiliate marketing. Having your personal brand, having people just believe in you and trust in you is I'm trying to do that right now, with different platforms and stuff. So it's so important.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Ed, when it comes to marketing strategy and building that audience, whether it's for affiliate marketing or more sales or revenue across the board, are there any cornerstones to help create and build that audience and keep them?
Yeah, one of the things that I've been focused on since COVID is being more of an educator rather than a promoter. So when you're teaching somebody how to, well, let's say not so much how to, but what they need to solve their problem or achieve their goal, that sets you up as the authority figure or the go-to person. And that's starting to build that know, like, and trust factor that is so important with your audience. No one's going to do business with you if they don't think you can help them, right? So the thing is that if you're teaching, then you're then you're someone who's trying to help them as opposed to pitch them your service or product or whatever. So the education part is really made a big shift in the marketing that I do with my own company and with my clients as well.
I'm trying to build out my social presence, build out, my own audience. And the key thing that everyone says is you need to provide value, you need to educate. And it's funny because, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we could be experts of certain things. We think, oh, like nobody's going to care about that. But it's funny. I posted a piece of content last week where I just listed some of the top affiliate networks out there, thinking like, I mean, it's there, like nothing big, but one of like my better posts. And it shows you that, people want to learn it. And if you can provide that education, it's key. I think it's everything really, right?
Yeah, it really is. It's the difference between a lot of times what you're doing and your nearest competitors are doing as well. So the more you're out there again, showing people what they need to solve their problem or achieve their goal, not necessarily the how part. You're the how part. They come to you and they hire you to do that. But if you show them the components they need that's going to get them from A to B, they're more likely to want to do business with you or follow you or, be part of your tribe if you're the one that's telling them that information.
Let's keep brainstorming on this, but between the two of you, what are some of those tactical strategies to really build that know, like, and trust and that affinity with our audience, with our clients, with our current partners? How do we ensure education? We just double down on that. What are other ways, other marketing strategies to really continue to build that affinity?
I'll jump in here. So the part that I think a lot of people miss when they're putting out educational content, in particular, like for lead generation. So in other words, sign up to get my book on the 7 steps that's going to show you what you need to solve X problem. Once somebody signs up for that book, usually there's nothing that happens after that, maybe 1 or 2 emails. And for me, the difference maker is really getting them into a nurturing sequence, typically done by email, where the nurturing sequence isn't pitching them an offer or telling them about their service. What it's doing is bringing them back to the educational piece. So for instance, you could say, an email could go out and say, hey, in step 3, we talked about A, B, C, D, E. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And so the nurturing is always driving them back to the educational piece that is going to help them or show them what they need to do to solve their problem or achieve their goal. So I think that's really been a key component. And that nurturing sequence is typically something that happens over months. It's not something you do one or 2 times. Typically what I do is for the first 30 days, we'll send out 10 messages about that, and then we'll do it twice a month after that. And that's your short play and your long play strategy for really keeping top of mind in regard to the educational content that you're putting out.
Yeah. I like to provide the process that we follow, kind of just, pull the curtain away and so they can see how we actually do it. Because a lot of times I feel that people are afraid to give that out. They're like, okay, that's my secret sauce. But yeah, it could be your secret sauce. But even if I were to give you the process, there's still a lot of work that has to be done. And also you could be someone where you don't have time to figure it out. Right. So being, I guess, fearless in terms of just saying, like, giving as much information into your process is a good way of allowing people to understand, okay, well, if I do work with this person, this is how it works. These are the outcomes that I would get. And they get a much better understanding instead of just being like, I can build you an affiliate program and I'll make you a bunch of money. It's like, no, this is how we do it. And I find that people have responded really well to it. But I think it takes a certain mindset of, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to hold on to this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's great, Fred. It's kind of that philosophy of, give a man a fish or teach a man a fish, right? So, or person, right? So that's awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of the people that I follow on LinkedIn, they don't come from a position of scarcity. They share a lot, and I learn a lot. And like some of the people that I actually trust, people that I sign up for their services, it's because they've told me this is what you do, or they give out all this info, and I'm like, okay, well, I like what this person is saying. I believe in sort of their process, and I want to work with them.
You guys are great. I was gonna double down and ask, about transparency, marketing in general, but we'll start specifically in affiliate marketing. Like, if I'm making a commission on a sale, should I be tremendously transparent on it, or where does transparency come into play in regards to that?
So I think with affiliate marketing, you have to look at it as a partnership, like an actual partnership. So maybe that affiliate is not a shareholder in the company. Maybe they don't have any equity, but they're still a very important partner that is generating either like customers, leads, but overall revenue for the business. So it's important for the brand or like the merchant to be transparent in terms of the data with that affiliate, but it's also important for the affiliate to be transparent. The honest truth is there's a lot of shady things that can happen in affiliate marketing, right? Like that is an actual part of the business as well. And so if you want to be a legitimate affiliate and develop a long-term relationship with some of these brands or companies, then it's in your best interest to be transparent. Like, this is the article that I wrote. What do you think? Before you go live, give it to them, let them review it. Here's the piece of content I'm thinking of doing. What do you think? And then once it goes live, show them. I believe that there's nothing bad that can come out of being transparent in a relationship, especially when you're trying to do business with someone. It just sets you apart from all the people who aren't transparent.
There is a lot of untransparent marketers, isn't there, Ed?
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's really easy for people to spot it too. That's number one. Number two is, why not just be transparent? When I create educational content for my own company, or I'm working with clients to help them do that, the number one thing I say is give away your best secret. Like, tell people the stuff that nobody else is willing to tell them. Because number one, it makes you look authentic, which you are, but it makes it more obvious. And number two is, again, it sets you apart from everybody else. Like, don't hide that secret in the back. If someone's going to take your secret and run with it on their own, they were never going to hire you anyway. So wish them luck and let them go do it. But for most people, it's just another point of validation where they say, wow, this company, this guy, this person is willing to give me this information so that if I wanted to, I could go do it on my own, but I'm way too busy running my company. So I just need to have a conversation with them and see what happens next.
A lot of time, even me being the consumer, you're trying to figure something out, whatever it is, you're trying to, the million things that you're trying to figure out for your business. All of the information's there online. And, there's some people that have really great content out there and you can learn a lot of it, but sometimes, you just don't have the time to execute. So you still need that expert. You still need that company. But, I think that's kind of the mentality that a business owner should have, is just put it out there. And if you're really good at it, people will come to you because they don't have time to figure it out. They don't have time to do it themselves sometimes,
Agreed.
So I'm wondering what I said to piss off Darleen. If anybody's listening to the audio, Darleen jumped off. It either was an internet issue or an emergency, but she disappeared on us. Is it my face?
Darlene's great, so I'm
She's
banking on it's some kind of internet issue.
Yeah, she probably had a technology issue. Let's call it that.
Well, and Shirley, and one thing, and everybody's information's in the description, so I recommend the listener go connect with all of these individuals. Darleen's great because she's all about relationships and empathy and building trust. And at the end of the day, you can be transparent, have a good offer, be brilliant, but if people don't like you, you probably don't have a business or sales. Is that a fair assumption? You know what? I'm going to take it back. If you've got broccoli that tastes like chocolate, I probably don't care. If you've got the best thing, literally the best thing since sliced bread, I probably don't care. If you're revolutionizing the world, I'm probably going to get your product just because. But 99.9% of us are in a competitive market that don't have the greatest things since sliced bread. So in that case, I feel like relationships and building trust is everything.
So I can say I actually had a virtual coffee with Darleen a few weeks ago. And from that simple conversation, she introduced me to two people.
Wow.
One person I was a guest on their podcast. And the other person introduced me to like a technology that really helped me out. So my 15-minute conversation with Darleen, I'm a Darleen champion. There's nothing that anybody can say bad about Darleen. I'm always going to be in her back. And that just came from us developing a relationship and her being very kind and introducing me to people.
We legit need to get 100 Darleens on your team then.
For sure. For sure.
All right. I have a couple questions prepared for Darleen. I was hoping she was going to come back, but I get to spend more time with you guys. Is there any revenue driver that has really moved the needle for you or your clients that we haven't touched on today? Anything that we missed out on thus far? Whoever is ready can go first.
Yeah, I'll jump in. So one of the things that I like to remind people of is, marketing isn't just a promotion, or it's not just putting together an advertisement or a series of emails without remembering one really key component. And that is that on the other end is a human being who's going to receive that information.
Right.
And most people forget that. And the only way I know that a person is going to engage with whatever your marketing is that if they believe your company, product, your service, whatever, can help them in some way. And in order to kind of bring that around, one of the best things I think you need to do is tell a story that demonstrates what you're offering can get them the kind of results that they're seeking. They have to say to themselves or believe to themselves, I think this thing, whatever it is, will help me. And if you can't get them to that point, then they're never going to take the next step. And I don't care what the product or service is. It doesn't matter. They have to believe that they can get a similar or same result. And if they don't, then they're going to move on and find somebody else. So I think keeping in mind that there's real people at the other end of your advertisement, and then starting to think about how are they going to feel or react, or what are they going to do when they come across your advertising, when that message is presented to them. What are they going to do? What steps do you want them to take? And how do you position your content in a way that's going to get them to take that step? And I'd love to hear what Fred thinks about that.
Boom.
Yeah, so it's the same thing even with affiliate marketing. So you replace the customers with the affiliates, right? So a lot of people think affiliate marketing is marketing, which it is, but it's actually, there's a lot of human relationships in there. And so if you have an affiliate program, you have humans promoting your product on the other side, right? So a lot of people, they want to go self-serve and automate everything. And okay, you got approved on the campaign. Here's your link. Boom, you're on your own. And it's like, yeah, you could do that. But you know what works even better is having someone develop these relationships with these affiliates, right? Being like, hey, how is the program working for you? Is there anything that I can help you with? These are some of the strategies that are working for other affiliates. Maybe you should try that. And we see that even in the affiliate networks. So affiliate networks are businesses that are kind of the broker, the middleman or middle person between the affiliates on one side and the brands and merchants on the other side. And so there are a lot of networks that have gone self-serve, and that's okay. But there are a lot of networks that are full service that have like an account manager or a business person, and the affiliates love that because you have to remember there are probably millions of affiliate programs out there, and so if you have someone that's selling and developing relationships with some of these really big affiliates, that makes a big difference. And especially for the big affiliates, the last thing that I'll say is there are some affiliates who are, they're super affiliates. They're able to generate millions of dollars of revenue for you. And so they know that they're in demand because everyone's trying to work with them and get in touch with them. The best way to be able to work with an affiliate of that size and caliber is to develop a relationship or have someone, build a relationship with them. And so coming back to Ed's point, even whether in marketing on the customer side or the affiliate side, like I think people think of marketing and they forget about that human aspect of it, but it's so important.
You guys are humans. You give away a ton of free value, as we mentioned before. Great way to build trust. How does I'm in this boat with the listener. I want to learn more. I want the value. I know this could even feel like we're drinking from a fire hose, but both of you guys are available with tremendous information and resources. We'll start with Ed. I mean, how can I help you? How can the listener get involved? You tell us.
So one of the best ways to get in touch with me is on LinkedIn. I love being the connector, and I want to thank Darleen as well for being the connector with me. I did the same thing, had the 15 minutes of virtual coffee time with her. So it was awesome to get to know her. And I really enjoy doing that because I get a ton of pleasure from connecting two people together and watching them, have a successful relationship and doing business with each other. So I invite any of the listeners to connect with me on LinkedIn. And of course, make sure you tell me that you heard that here on this podcast so that I make sure to connect with you. And then the easiest way to find out more about me is just to go to my website, ECEMarketingServices.com. And you can go on there. You can leave me a voicemail right from my website, and we can do the same thing, have a virtual coffee together.
Love it. That's all in the description. If someone wants to go straight to me, I will make the intro to Ed as well. Happy to do it. Fred, you're up, man. How can I continue to support you and the listener wants to support you as well?
So I'm LinkedIn as well, very active on there. I'm on there every single day. Probably too much time on LinkedIn, but you know how it goes. You want to grow your audience, you got to be in the platform. So I'm on LinkedIn. Within my profile, you're able to book like a 15-minute strategy call with myself. So we can go over some of the tips, strategies, see if you're a fit. I can just give you advice. The company website is www.performancepartners.agency. You can go find out more information on the business there. But if you want to get through to me really quickly, I would definitely say LinkedIn is the one.
Love it. And we're going to be talking. I need to set up an affiliate program and become an affiliate for some programs. And you're the perfect resource for that, my friend. So I appreciate it. Well, guys, thanks for coming on the show. We miss Darleen. We hope everything's well. Be sure to connect with her as well in the show notes. I mean, 2 great endorsements today. I'm the third one. Every time I meet with Darleen, it's pure value. We're always sharing introductions. We're building relationships. And I hope that's part of what we just did today. So I appreciate the 2 of you for being here. Appreciate the listener for listening in. And thanks for I don't even know what to say, man. I'm just like filled with joy and gratitude. Thanks for coming on the show.